Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to another episode of Sim Racing with the Evo Sim Racing guys. This week we've decided to leave the oval behind and we've returned to a oval, and we are at the, I'm not sure if we can say this for legal reasons, but the Speedway that's in Indiana. Anyway, after a very close qualifying session, we've ended up with Mr. Dan Slattery, the Destroyer, on pole with a 1 minute 29.727 qualifying time. 4 attempts behind him, we had Mr. Mark Pendlebury. And it was a close fought battle for third between Jamie, Mr. James Hurlow, and William Thomas. Just behind them, we had Jeff Sharp. And then the battle for the best of the rest was between Paul, Steve Everson, Richard Bowen, Axel Edwards, and Chris Palmer, with Tuggy and Josh Morris at the back after failing to set a time. So we join the cars as they peel off from the pace car. Rolling start for this one, and remember, this is a endurance race. There's just one 90-minute race tonight instead of 2 separate races as normal. Anyway, the cars are getting ready to go, and it's up to Dan there at the front to set them off when he's ready, and they're off. Some beautiful liveries out there today, some nice gold, some blue, black, there's all sorts out there. Anyway, down to the first corner they come, and looks like Dan's got the lead. Through they go nicely there. No argy-bargies just yet. They're all through cleanly as they come through the big loop onto the little mini straight here before the long straight down. The back straight. See Mr. Mark Pendlebury there advertising his new streaming platform. Go and take a look. Anyway, down they come the back straight into the slow left-hander. It looks like he's going to make a move here. He dives down the inside. Runs a bit too far, and let's let 2 people come through. Oh, Mark, that livery is sexy. Anyway, through they come onto the double loop, and that's I think that's Jeff, and I think that's Will there have both spun off, and that's let Steve jump up a few positions there, and Paul. Let's see what happened there. Let's run the roof camera of Steve's car here, and we can see here that they went too wide. Both cold tyres just kind of overcooked it there, or did sink a bit wrong, and that let Steve come flying through. As we see William and Jeff there trying to work their way back onto the track. Meanwhile, we can see here Mark pushing up to, I believe that's Jamie there in the Mercedes. Mark goes a little bit wide in that corner, and that gives James Hurlow the chance to tuck in here. Will he get a run down the main straight line? Anyway, further back, we can see there's someone gone there, and that's Josh spun off in the background. Caraman goes a bit mad as he's trying to work out where to look at all this action happening. Rudan goes, and he leads the first lap of the Redacted Speedway Roval Grand Prix. And here's Tuggy making a move. I believe that's on Chris, or I could be wrong. Here he comes into turn 1. Is he going to be able to make this stick? No, he backs out. Oh no, doesn't he? He dives. No, still doesn't know what he's doing. But Chris seems to keep it through there and keeps ahead. Tuggy's shiny BMW there as they come back onto the back stretch. Now, he tucks into the slipstream here. He should get a nice run. Will he be able to make a move going on to Chris into this left-hander? Doesn't look like he's quite close enough yet, but that Blakey car behind of Paul will be waiting for something to happen. So we come towards the end of lap 2 as we come into the dodgy little snaky slow bit here, and you can see Axel, Chris and Tuggy and Flaky Paul behind, all in a line. I believe that might be Richie just ahead of them. Double check that in a second. Anyway, through they come. Oh, sounds like Paul had a bit of a mishap there in the background. Let's take a look. Jump on board with Paul, the driver's eye view. Comes onto that last turn, gets on the power a bit too early on his cold tyres. Sends it round. And through William goes. Oh, Paul, that's not a safe rejoin, but we'll let you off there, mate. So we come up towards the end of lap 3, and we can see the battle is really heating up between Tuggy and Chris here. Tuggy takes a look down the inside. Will Chris let him have that? No, he chops his nose off. Is Tuggy going to have another move into this slow right-hander? Oh, looks like Axel's a little bit slow there. Oh, Tuggy's side by side with Chris again. No, he leaves him room. like Tuggy's really keen to get on with this. Now that should give him a lovely run down the straight here. Will he be able to dive down the inside, or will Chris cut that off, or will he just hang behind him? All of these could be possible, but no, he makes his move. Dives down the inside. Last of the late breakers here into turn one. Who's going to make it? Looks like Tuggy's got the advantage. Oh, that hurt. Will he be able to make it stick though? Will Chris come back at him? It doesn't look that way. Looks like a good move there, if a bit of a painful one, for the Tuggy. Meanwhile, just ahead of those guys, we have Steve here being chased down by Richie. The BMW here with its fancy livery being chased by Richie in the multicoloured, I believe that's a McLaren. Oh, you can see Paul here chasing down Josh a bit further back. Blake in oil. Who's going to be the quickest here? Paul stalking his prey, waiting for a move to get past. Down they come, down the back stretch here. Now will Josh defend this, or will Paul have his way, be able to get through? Looks like Paul backs off. Josh goes in a bit hot there. Can he hold it? Oh no, he's round. And that lets Paul through. Just ahead of all that action there, we've got Mark chasing down Mr. Hurlo. Dan Slattery with a lead over Jamie. So we have Dan in the lead, Jamie second, James third, Mark in fourth, Steve fifth, and Richie sixth. The rest of them vying for position for a bit further back. See Tuggy chasing down Axel here. Mr. Mark Pendlebury looking good here. Stalking his prey, waiting for his chance to pounce. Meanwhile, a bit further back, we've got Tuggy here still hot on the tail of Axel. Looks like Tuggy might get a good run here, going on to the chicane before the straight. See William there in the background starting to catch up, starting to pull up onto Chris as well. Down they come into the the back stretch. Tuggy thinking better of it this time. A bit further back in the background there, we can see Chris and Williams keeping it nice and safe as well. Looks like Williams going side by side with Chris there in the background. We don't want to see that shiny BMW, we want to see the action there in the background. What's going on? See, Chris is still ahead, Williams making an eye still. Tuggy's right on the gearbox here of Axel though. Oh, looks like Tuggy's pulling up there, and right in the background, they're side by side again. There's some good clean battles out here right at the moment. Mr. Dan Slattery in the lead. It looks like everyone else can keep it clean. Will and Chris fighting nice and cleanly here. William goes down the inside and bashes him off. I don't think William was going to say no to getting through there, but he's took them both out, and that's going to be a big blow to both of their hopes here for a good result in this race. Meanwhile, a bit further back, we can see Mr. Hurlo still being dogged by Mr. Mark Pendlebury here. Here they come through the winding S's are back onto the oval. See Jamie just minding his own business just ahead there. Meanwhile, a bit further back, we can see Tuggy still trying to get past this gearbox of Axel. Absolute beautiful livery there, shining in the beautiful Indiana sunshine. They come onto the start-finish straight again, and will this be the time that Tuggy makes his move? Got a great toe here, you can see him pulling up to the back of that McLaren. See Jeff in the background just waiting for his turn as well. Into turn one they come. You can see Axel takes a nice defensive line. That leaves Tuggy the chance to... it doesn't give him much chance at all really. It's some really good driving here by both of them. Tucks in to try and get the good run out of the slow turn there through the chicane onto the back stretch. That BMW rides the curbs much better than the McLaren. See here, closing again. Tuggy goes to the outside line. Axel goes extremely defensive there. This gives Tuggy the chance to switch back. No, he just tucks in behind again. Jump forward onto lap 8 here, and we can see Tuggy's finally getting the chance to dive down the inside of Axel, and Jeff is right there in the background. 3 different cars here. Tuggy's gone very, very, very tight here on the inside. Plenty of room. Ducks in. Axel doesn't push him out the way. That's some good driving here. Tuggy's through. Now, how will Jeff handle Axel here? That power of that Mercedes, will it be able to push its way through here without any kind of incidents? Will Jeff make his move? Banks to the inside, he tucks back in. He should have a great opportunity here down the start-finish straight though. Nearly pushes Axel through the corner. Through they come. Now will Jeff get the toe and be able to make his move into turn 1? Axel stays behind Tuggy here, just tries to get pulled along as well. What will Jeff do? Will he be able to outbrake him, or will he wait for his turn next time round? Looks like he's going to wait his turn at the moment. This is, of course, an endurance race, so it's not all one on turn 1 this time, even if it is lap 8. You can see here Jeff really trying to push Axel along, and he dives down the inside. Is this going to be the move? Oh, beautiful move there by Mr. Sharp, and he'll now be set on his way to try and get past Tuggy. Meanwhile, we jump forward here, and we've got James, Hurlo, and Mark. They're bumper to bumper. Porsche on Aston. Oh, you can hear that curb there as Mark kicks the inside of that Aston up the curb. Is he going to dive down the inside here? No, he's going to try and get the run on the straight. Takes a wider line, and will he get the toe here? And he comes. You can see that Aston pulling up on the back of the Porsche there. That Aston is one wide, boy. Oh, meanwhile, we've got Tuggies around. And that's let Axel and Jeff through again. Let's see what happened there. You can see him here just coming into the squiggly bit before the run onto the oval. Tuggy takes the corner just a little bit too quickly. Takes his foot on the grass. Back tire on the grass, sorry. And that allows Axel and Jeff to come through. Jeff very considerate there not to bump into him. And Williams through as well. Of course, that means Jeff's got to do it all again on Axel here as he comes down the back stretch. Axel takes a very close line, but I think Jeff's going to go even closer. It's going to be the last of the breakers. Jeff goes in. Axel gives him room, does he? Yes, they're 2x2. Or 2 aside, sorry. So in all sorts of different games here. Anyway, Jeff is through, and that leaves him the chance now to chase after the guys in front, including Richie and Steve. Talking of the dynamic duo, here's Richie and Steve, and they seem to be lapping Josh here. They come onto the start-finish straight, and Steve's been struggling. No, sorry, they're not on the start-finish straight. They're coming into the squiggly bit again. I will get the corners of these one day. Anyway, until they come now onto the... Oh, no, we're going to check a little bit in front of here just to see what's happening between Mark and James. Looks like they're still in formation order. You can see there the front 4 just all running bit by bit. Oh, and there's been a smash there in the background as Josh goes into the barrier. Let's see what the young man did there. And we jump on his right front suspension here. As you can see, he comes round, tries to get onto the power a little bit early onto the back straight, onto the front straight. Gets too much grass, and boof! Boof! Oh, that one's painful. Meanwhile, here's William chasing down Axel. You can see Tuggy there in the background, waiting for something to happen as well. William's on the charge here after his 2 mishaps so far, trying to catch up. Axel runs a little bit wide, but looks like he's through the corner quite nicely. Williams seems to be a lot better on the acceleration here, though, so they go side by... No, Williams still behind. Towards the back straight they come. They try to go side by side through the chicane. William tucks in, he drives that chicane much nicer now. Down the back straight they go. Will William try and make his move here? William back in black, just like Amy Winehouse, tucks in and just keeps his line here. Waits for a mistake to happen, is he? Swarming. Axel driving a very great defensive race here so far, but looks like William might have his nose in here as they come onto the oval. Oh, little bit of a kiss here just to say hello. Kiss back. But through William goes. Oh no, Axel makes another move. He dives down the inside. They're side by side as they come onto the start-finish straight area. It looks like Williams got this bolted in so far. Axel's got a great toe here though. What will he do? See Tuggy just closing in the background. Looks like he's flashing them. There's just the reflections from the lights. But anyway, here's Axel making his move. He's going to dive down the inside. Does that allow William to make a cut back here? William takes a wider line that should give him a better drive out of this corner. They're side by sides. Another little touch there. They dive into the corner before the backstretch. William taking a much wider line, which allows him to get a much better run down this straight here. He'll use that toe and then he'll just dive down the inside, will he? No, he keeps it in line at the moment and they're still bumper to tail. Again, great defensive driving here by Axel. He's just keeping William behind, keeping him frustrated, allowing Tuggy to catch up as well. Will William be able to make a run here though? Again, same kind of place. He dives down the inside. Axel hangs it round the outside. Jump into the chicane bit. Still side by side here. This is great racing. Will Axel get the run onto the into turn one again here? And that's allowed Tuggy to gain the draft as well. Will Axel make a move or is he going to be sensible here? William goes defensive on the inside. Axel tries to take it around the outside here. They go side by side again. Williams about to pull out a bit here though, and I think that'll be it now for this battle. I think Williams got enough power in there to keep ahead. See a few laps later here and Tug is caught right up onto the back of Axel. But it looks like it's time for the pit stops and in Axel comes. So while the pit stops are starting to shape themselves out, different pit strategies are in order. So for example, Richie has gone in early, trying to take his first stop. And while Jeff's been in the free air, he's now caught right up to the back of Steve. As they come down the start-finish straight, he stalks his prey. He's going to go down the inside. Steve here tries to take a long line. Oh, it's a very slow corner there. I don't think he's done much to help him get through or keep him behind now. I think that was a bit of nothing. Anyway, he stays ahead for the moment. Steve takes a very wide line onto the fast bit here. He's not going to give him a good run. Is that going to allow Jeff to close right up? Jeff pops into view. Steve here goes very late braking here. That's extremely late. Oh, no, that's not good. He's just going to have to let Jeff through there, I think. We'll tuck him behind and try and make the most of this first stint still. Jump forward to lap 23 and we've got Paul here in the flaky car. Not even a flake, it's a Cadbury's Caramel. That's a mistake to make. Josh lets him go through. And Paul flies through there. That Lamborghini looking very delicious. Scrumptious even. After that first round of pit stops, I can tell you that Steve has lost a lot of ground on Richie. Although Richie hasn't taken tyres yet. But he will have to take tyres in his second stint unless he's going to try and go all the way through. That means that Steve's lost some ground here. And he's got a lot of work to do. William, there in the background. That black McLaren is waiting to pounce. Jump forward a couple more laps here. You can see Richie just there in the foreground. Steve, then William, and then Mr. Anthony Tuggy Marriott there in the background. Closing up, but William is in a much faster position. Here he should be able to get past Steve. Anyway, through they come. Through the S's into this loopy right-hand corner. Through the fast chicane they go, and you can see just how much of a run that William has got here. Steve going to take it on the inside or the outside. It's on the outside and just rolls it through. Trying to be sensible here. Will William be able to get his nose in though? He tries to take it around the outside. Steve takes the inside line. Through the S's they go quite nicely. Through the corner. Will William be able to put on the power here? Oh no, he's just caught the grass again and... Ow! I hope he's got his national insurance card because that one's going to need a trip to the hospital. See what happens here. Just runs a little bit wide. Probably the aero weight from Steve's car. And ow! That one really hurts. We haven't mentioned him much, but Jamie Nicholson here, running smoothly. That beautiful Mercedes car. See William here just covering from his smash there. That car does not look healthy. And Tuggy managed to sneak his way through while William was recovering. Meanwhile, here's our leader, dangerous Dan Slattery. His car, which may or may not be a pack of beans, I'm not too sure. Anyway, through the start, finish straight he goes, and he clicks off another lap. How dare he? Here he is, Mr. Paul Nicholson, and we've had enough of him. We're going to have a look at Jeff instead, as he hunts down those leaders after that initial few accidents right at the start. It's fair to say he's kept it on the road since though, and yeah, off he carries on. And we can see here Mark coming up to the lap Paul. Paul just tucks into the inside there and lets Mark go. Paul having his own battle here, trying to keep up, or catch up with Chris Palmer, sorry. Paul weaving behind Mark there, I'm not too sure what he's trying to do. Meanwhile, here's Dan Slattery coming up to the lap axle, who pulls right out of the way. Nice, sensible driving there. Just leave Dan to get on with it. Oh, and we can see there that Josh has decided he wanted to have a look at the front of Dan's car as it came past there. As yeah, Axel and Dan go past. Now we see Dan catching up with Jamie here. I believe this may be for the lead of the race, although they're on different strategies. Dan is known for his close quarter combat driving style. Is Jamie going to fight? No, he just lets him go past, does he? Looks like Jamie's not making too much of a meal of this one, and he's happy to keep his position. Now we're coming up to possibly the time that people start thinking about pitting again here, as Josh moves out of the way of Steve here. And this could shuffle the order up again as different strategies come into play. But at the moment we have Mr. Dan Slattery in the lead. Jamie Nicholson in second, Mark in third, I believe Jeff is in fourth with Richie fifth, and Steve there in sixth. Now with how the different pit strategies have played out here, we can see that Dan is now behind Mark. Mark yet to spit or pit, whatever he's doing, but he's yet to do it. So will Dan be able to chase him down here and make a move on him, or will he just sit behind and wait for the pit stops to sort everyone else back into the right order? And here's James again as he comes through the... Oh, and Josh has lost it. Is that going to affect him? No, true. This is why you shouldn't buy cars sponsored by oil companies, guys. Anyway, James looks nice and handy here as he makes his way through and carries on to chase down the car of Richie there. Now Jeff and James have been slowly coming together here. You can see here Jeff coming out of the pit lane, very slow pit exit here, and that will allow him to catch right up to James here. You can see he comes straight out onto the track right behind him with Richie just in front. James flashing out at Richie here saying, "Get out of my way." More flashing than a night out in Rotherham here as James wants to get Richie out of the way and allow Jeff to not catch up with him. James dives down the inside of Richie here. He's going to make his move. He's going to be decisive, and through he goes. Richie just gives him a nice little kiss there, and it kisses him up the bum and spins him round. Paul goes through, and that's going to mean that James has the long, eye-racing, twisty, grassy, "please let me out of here," as he tries to get back onto the track. See just how much time he's lost there. He seems to have lost a lot of footage here due to iRacing replay, but anyway, that leaves Dan Slattery to take the win of the double points race here in the Evo Sim Racing Challenge. So after a long and race there, we've ended up with Mr. Dan Slattery taking the win by an absolute colossal 42.8 seconds. 13 seconds or so behind Mark was Jeff in third. Jamie came in fourth. James Hurlow him in fifth. Then we have a slattering of cars, all a lap down, including Steve Everson, Anthony Marriott, Axel Edwards, William Thomas and Paul Nicholson, Richard Bowie and Chris Palmer. And a few laps down on the field we have the indestructible, unflappable Josh Morris. And after our first double points, it might be our only double points race of the season, our championship now looks like this, with Dan Slattery 8 points ahead of Mark Pendlebury at the top of the standings. A further 20 points back we have Mr. Jeff Sharp. We then have James Hurlow in fourth on 117 points. 11 points behind him we have Anthony the Tuggy Master Marriott. Steve Everson in sixth, a further 5 points behind. Looks like Jamie Nicholson is trying to catch up with that pack there, that fourth, fifth, sixth pack, to try and make a challenge of that. We then have the rest of the pack all fighting behind, with Axel in eighth, Josh in ninth, level on points with Paul, William Thomas there in 11th, Brian in 12th, Chris Palmer in 13th, and Richie and Chris towards the back. We'll see you guys next time, where we'll be racing the beautiful and fantastic Clio Cup cars at the Red Bull Ring. We're back to our normal format of a 25-minute sprint race followed by a 45-minute feature race. Hope to see you there. Bye bye.